Well, the expectation is that all the wishes and the objectives laid out by the Record of Decision will be accomplished. And that's going to take a little while to ensure that that happens. But we're well on our way to do that because all of the major efforts have been underway. The last big effort is going to be next year when they build the water treatment plant, and then finalizing it by getting the tailings and waste rock piles covered with cover and then planted. So that'll be kind of some finishing touches, if you will. Well, because it is a manufactured soil, it's not topsoil. We don't just run down to the Grange and get a couple bucket loads. We're manufacturing as a screened process here from our borrow source. But we have great expectations that nature's pretty resilient. Given a new I'll say, healthy environment to grow in, nature will take over, and it will find the preferred species. We have over 100,000 plants being propagated right now. And so I think 17 different species of hardwoods and softwoods, a wide variety of trees that are native to the area and shrubs. And so we expect that will take off within the next 10 years. Well, I can't really say that I'm surprised because the fact is that this has been going on for decades, meaning the planning process itself. Holden Village is known it's been coming, Rio's known it's been coming, so there's no real surprises. But some of the difficulties encountered just getting the infrastructure, the base of the pyramid, if you will, to get all of this work accomplished has taken more than anyone would wish, but no more than necessary. Lots of work was required before they could get to the top of this pyramid here, where they're doing all the tailings, the stabilization, the portal plugs, the barrier wall itself. All of that's coming together right now, so it's actually quite satisfying and not surprising because of all the planning effort that's gone in, and the collaboration with Holden Village itself has made it much more attainable. Well, it certainly does. I mean, the setting itself, as you pointed out, it's the remoteness, the logistics of just getting everything up here. Must come in and out by boat and barge. The fact there's only one way in and one way out. And the fact is there's no other alternative. It's not like they could set up another camp here and not impact Holden Village. So the fact that this infrastructure was here and then we were able to accommodate the workers has been a fantastic actually meshing of necessary parts, if you will. And Holden Village, bless their hearts, they have taken advantage of the shutdown in the village to put in infrastructure that they have never been able to tackle in 50 plus years since they've taken over the site. So it's really actually quite a mutually beneficial circumstances. Oh, absolutely. Look, there could be no finer group of guys that I've worked with in my 34 years in construction with the Forest Service. There's no accident that they've picked the finest, the best managers, supervisors, superintendents, laborers, the support staff. Everything has come together, and again, it's it's a pleasant undertaking to have it come together so well. But my hat's off to Rio Tinto for taking on a very difficult, challenging, expensive project and doing it with grace and style and commitment. So that's the very first impression I got, is they're not just here because they have to, they're here to do it right, and they want to get in and get out, call it good. Well, I would say no. The fact of the matter is we can't just run down to the hardware store. You can't just go get a welder. You can't just go get anything. You have to plan ahead of time. And the fact of the matter is they get 250 inches of snow here. And so that's a huge thing in itself. You can't work year round. You don't have the opportunities, which means you have to shut down, you have to demobilize, you have to bring all the equipment in and out every year. So the logistics themselves are an extreme challenge. Moving hundreds of men, the machinery, all of the work that we definitely take for granted for most of our working areas, if you will. This is very unique in that regard, and so it's a challenge that's not lightly undertaken. I think it's the flexibility in having their own control of their folks in terms of transportation. When they need something, they have a fast boat, and when they need big equipment, they have their own barge group that they work with. And so I think that has probably been the key is their ability to get things when they need, to the extent practical.
that?
Well, certainly fire is a big issue up here. As you just saw today, we got a huge fires going off down the valley. Last year we actually had a fire right below the quarry from a track sparking and got into it, and someone saw it at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we actually had a fire here, but the crew was well trained. They got the fire out and responded to it, and so by the time the Forest Service crew got up here hours later, it was a non-issue. So fire is always at the heart of the fact of the matter of their awareness of where they are up here, because there's no way out except one way. Well, basically what they do is to demonstrate to the forest fire management officers in the local district office here that they have the facilities, the training, the manpower, and the knowledge and the preparations to be able to prevent fires, first of all, and then secondly, were a fire to occur, that they would be able to do the initial attack. So they have to look at that, plus they come up, the Forest Service fire folks come on up, inspect the sites, inspect the work areas, understand the equipment and people on site, so they have firsthand knowledge of what the capabilities are and what type of work is going to happen. Well, for me, after 34 years in the Forest Service, and I've worked in lots of different work. I've worked as a geotechnical engineer. I started out in the mining industry myself with Homestake Mining Company. This is quite an undertaking here, and it's a great, I'll say, crest to my career to be able to be. I feel actually privileged and honored to be oversight of the work that's here, because again, some of the top construction folks here, managers, and the commitment from Rio Tinto to do an excellent job. It's very satisfying for me, personally. Sure. It's Pete Jones with U.S. Forest Service. I'm the remedial project manager for the Holden Mine.